a wonderful way to understand people's stories, cultures, past and heritage and connections to their respective communities would be to understand them by way of food. So we cover it and we simmer it for about maybe 45 minutes roughly.
And then it's done.
And then it's done, that's right.
Beautiful.
And then it's done. My name is James and I'm a resident of the City of Port Phillip. I sit on the Multicultural Advisory Committee. We want to document stories of newly arrived multicultural communities. When I look into my past and the way that I was brought up, in my family, in my culture, food is a means of expression of love and affection for someone. So I was brought up in a family where if you took care of someone, you would try to feed the person well. And it's not just about making sure that someone is well fed, it's also making sure that someone is well nourished. So when I was growing up, for example, my mom would cook all sorts of herbal soups and nourishing drinks. She would incorporate different types of berries and barks and fruit and vegetables, and some dried and some fresh ones. Those are really meant to nourish the body according to traditional Chinese medicine principles. I'm from Singapore and we are very similar to Australia in the sense that we are a land of migrants. So the food that we consume reflects that culture. Take for example laksa. Ingredients and cooking methods from different cultures. You have got the noodles, which is Chinese in origin, fresh spices like chili, turmeric, shallots and garlic, and those are very Southeast Asian. The soup base, which is spicy and has a rich coconut base, that's very Southeast Asian. That is almost Malay and Indonesian in origin. On certain festive occasions, celebrations, we will cook certain foods, and I realized that certain dishes, certain snacks, certain drinks, they are not found in other families, even though we may belong to the same culture. For example, my maternal grandmother had a recipe for a cucumber and shrimp pancake. It's a savory pancake that's not common in other families, and I don't see that being sold in any of the hawker stalls or on the restaurant menu. It is something that was quite unique to my family, and it's something that my mum remembered eating when she was younger. And when she made the pancake for me when I was young, I loved it. So that, for example, was a very special memory to me because I miss home quite a lot. And it was in that environment that I grew a very fond relationship with food. In the first few years of moving from Singapore to Australia, I miss the food from home because they are a source of comfort for me. I think for any migrant, as you move to a new city, to a new country, to a different culture, you would miss some of the food that you would have grown up with. So if you ask any Singaporean, what do they miss most about their home countries? They always start with two F's. That's family or friends and food. What got me through some of the most homesick periods was actually cooking food that reminded me of home, because that was a source of comfort for me. It warmed my tummy, and emotionally, it sort of brought me closer to home. Cooking is such an important social skill as much as it is a survival skill. And I love the idea, and I really encourage people who are newly arrived in any new city that they move to really organize potluck dinners, because instead of eating alone, you are inviting your neighbors and your acquaintances and your friends or your schoolmates from other communities, other cultures to bring a plate of food to share. You not only do you get to taste food from different cultures, different families, you also start to exchange stories, ideas, experiences as well. And that makes the experience less lonely when you are a newly arrived resident. And it also helps you to connect with people that you didn't know before. I find food is a great connector for people from different communities.